Hello. Hi, girl.
Hey girl,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. How are you, bro?
I'm good. You can imagine. I left work a bit later today, so I'm literally 4 minutes from my spot. I'm just walking. Don't mind me. Don't mind me. Tell the, tell us, tell us, Michael. How are you, my friend? I'm glad to
Um,
be with you here, man.
good, good. Working a lot as everyone, but it's cool. Everything good. Losing some weight. Continue to prepare for Amsterdam. This weekend, I'm going to see the other Frenchies to finish to prepare Amsterdam and to record some interviews for the documentary that will be first displayed in Amsterdam, and still working on the terminal and multiple stuff for SPX coding stuff and yes, everything good, good. And you, bro?
All right, I'm going to talk and walk. I don't think you guys mind anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, don't
Oh,
worry.
me. Well, before I share my world, how is the job? I know it's a bit something different. How's it feeling on your body and your everything? It's manual labor, right?
Yeah, it's like I don't know how you say in English. It's like lifting heavy stuff, deliver orders that are heavy stuff, like kitchens stuff, heavy construction stuff. So it's kind of tiring a lot, but it's okay. It's okay. It is what it is. That's what I have to do to continue. So I accept it and work it.
You work it, girl. you're Mike. You're gonna be jacked Eon by the time we get
Oh.
to Amsterdam. You're gonna have guns out.
Yeah, yeah. Losing weight. I think I've lost probably 7 kilos, something like that, in 3.5 week. So
It's amazing.
I'm like doing a cutting like boxers.
Yeah. get you get you in the ring with Ansem. You remember all that stuff?
Oh yeah,
Crypto boxing, hilarious. So silly.
yeah, definitely. And we have Johnny here. How are you, bro?
Hey Johnny.
Yo, what's up, people? Just listening and working with cloud. How are you? Hey, Mike, congratulations. So proud of you.
Thank you very much for what?
Now, this is my first talking on spaces, so
Oh, you need to be
Oh,
baptized.
baptism!
That's
Baptized,
cool.
so did
baptized.
I lose tonight my virginity with SPX community.
So cool. Yeah, I will baptize you if you want
No,
later.
no problem, no
Yeah,
problem.
perfect. Cool. Cool. Thanks,
Yes,
dude.
boys and girls.
Hey, Jordan, how are you?
What's going on? Who's got a cob game on then?
For
Oh,
what
yeah.
game?
Cob against Hull.
Oh, I don't know that. Am I out of the loop?
No. It's just Cob are top, aren't they? So win tonight and
Uh,
win Saturday. We're up in the Prem.
yeah, yeah.
Well, I
Big
think
times for Jordan Scobie.
get me on the pitch as well.
Get him in there. Yeah, mate. I remember you were saying something about Cobb being. They were. This is how I'm going to sound like real old and like I don't watch any sports, but they were. Yeah, like what's it? What's the league under the Premier League? Championship.
Championship, yeah.
Fair play, mate. Didn't Wrexham do some? I remember seeing that club Wrexham with
Yeah,
with-
they're doing all right. To be fair, they've jumped about three leagues in about 5 years. Done well.
Are they in the Premier League?
No. They're in the same league as Cob. I don't know where they are in the table. They're not far off the playoffs. I think, or they might be in the playoffs. I don't know.
Yeah, mate. It's big business, isn't it?
Yeah, but obviously the jump from the championship to the Prem, Like, it's a big jump. But people say the Championship's the hardest league in the world to get out of.
Do you reckon it's like more mental or more physical?
It's just like anyone can win it. Like,
It's a bit scrappy.
there's probably about 6 that are like probably favourites, and then honestly, someone can just surprise you and just come out of nowhere and win it.
It's kind of weird, right? Because I remember. Sorry, sound in the background. I remember. Excuse me, I'm bringing lots of noise here. I remember Crystal Palace were in the Premier League when I was a kid, and then
Yeah, they still are. They won the FA Cup last year.
yeah, but so they went down and they came back up.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah.
but I don't think they went. I don't think they when they came up. I don't think they went like low. I think it's kind of weird because I've seen clubs come from the Championship and then come up, and
like Leicester won the league. Now they're like bottom of the Championship.
yeah, it's kind of weird, right? Don't know how that works, but yeah, pretty super competitive. But
I like watching other leagues though. Like, I watch the French league quite a lot.
I don't know. We're not sure about the French.
Is there anyone in here watch football then or what? Who's everyone follow? What's going on here? No one's talking.
Mike, who's your Paris Saint-Germain? Am I saying it?
For what? For football?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a guy from the south, so track Paris Saint-Germain.
Oh.
Come on, anyone else? Let's have a football argument.
No, I support Paris on European stuff. Otherwise, not. But I'm not watching too much football anymore. I used to play in amateur for quite a long time, 15 years, 20 years, something like that.
Oh, nice, Mike.
Yeah, and after made some boxing, so stopped. But yeah, I don't follow too much these days. We have Michael. How are you, bro?
Maya, you know, I need you guys to name me why SPX6900 is the best community.
Yes, sir. Don't even know who that is, but come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, how did you do that round of applause? That's class.
I think you can do it too, Jordan.
So when I'm like clapping on what people are saying and that, when I'm just a listener, what is that? Is that just going off constantly?
No, it's a feature. So you can see it at the bottom, and you've got like it looks like a wand, and you click on that, and then there's the option in there, so you can unleash. You can. Is it dangerous now? Jordan's.
What's this?
Oh boy. Oh boy. That was dangerous.
Let's carry on. Someone else talk. I'll just fire off with these. Good.
I mean,
Oh, we're a democracy, and let's just quick time. Vote me in to be the guy who controls that. I've got to do that.
Jordan for president of sounds.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. I can't believe this.
Do you know what though is? You can't hear it, I don't think, the same way everyone else hears it. So when you're the person who presses it, you hear a muffled version of it.
Okay. That's a bit shit.
Yeah, it's real.
Sorry.
Oh, shout out Nenalit. Waffles in Amsterdam.
Oh yeah, the waffle lover. I seen in the group.
That's hilarious. already planning his breakfast. I love it.
Nice, yeah. We need to try that in Amsterdam.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like just all congregate in the best waffle pancake houses, and I don't know. Yeah, pancakes, waffles. Are they the same thing?
What?
Mike, it's the same thing, isn't it?
You want some problem with my friend Natalie?
Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Holy crap. Stop Chicago, I feel like today's the day, my friend, that you come up. I can't go on. Mike, how about you? Jordan, can you go on?
What's this?
Stop Chicago. We're calling him out.
Yeah.
He's
When
probably
he-
the oldest community member here.
Yeah.
And
He's an OG. One of these days when he's ready, we will welcome him.
yeah,
Whenever you want sub, we here. Every Monday, I can baptize you if you want.
What, to get him to come in and speak, or?
yeah, to get him to come up and speak. Peer pressure. We're using peer pressure on him, Jordan. Give him
come
your
on,
best
man.
peer pressure.
Get in there now.
Get in now.
Does anybody know who it is? I have no idea.
Yeah, he's next to you on the screen. Well, he's on my
But
screen.
like in person, or like, I don't know.
Oh no, never.
Is it a real person?
Sub Chicago, yeah.
Yeah,
He's Sub
an OG.
Chicago.
He's an OG.
Oh, come on, get in here, please.
He's an OG, but
I invite.
whenever he'll be ready, we'll be
He's
here.
there.
I
Yeah.
know. I'm just giving you shit, mate.
You don't want to dox, I guess.
What's up?
Hey, girl.
Hey, Yugong.
Hey, I'm actually in Chicago right now myself, and I DM'd him and I said, "Are you in Chicago?" Oh my god. Oh, I'm so hungover. Ah.
Bro, what was the cause of celebration?
Went to 2 punk rock shows in a row.
Whoa.
Oh, come on, then.
Yeah,
Love
not great.
Nice.
Well, it was great. It was too great. That's why. Yeah. So I'm gonna bow out. I just wanted to say, let's fucking go.
Yeah. What did you
Yeah,
before you,
that lot, great energy.
did you just do one Yugong and then just decide that you couldn't live without and wait for another one?
What punk rock show? No, I went to one 2 nights ago, and then or 3 nights ago, and then I went to one last night, and
Oh, fair play.
went too hard at each one and stayed up till like 3 in the morning, and then yeah, I'm getting too old for this shit.
You got the memories though, right?
Oh yeah, well, hazy. They're hazy at best at this point. But, yeah, you guys like my Aeon alt? It got like 150 followers in like a couple weeks. That's cool.
Nice. Nice.
Getting there.
Wait,
I think we can gauge sentiment on how quickly I gain followers off of my main. It's cool. We'll see.
wait.
Looking good though.
You lost me. Wait, what's your main account? Because now I've lost your voice.
Oh, Yugong Yishan. I just put an Aeon in there. I haven't started a new one. People were like, make an Aeon alt, make an Aeon alt. So I did.
Bro, that's heavy.
Yeah, the current accounts you have here.
What's that?
It's your account now you're talking about.
No, this is his backup account.
This is like a Aeon alt. I was told to make an Aeon alt. So I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because your main one's got I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Bro, it's sick.
Nice.
That's awesome, man. Like, I mean, I feel like everyone should have an alt account, right? But
yeah,
it's good security.
For sure. Yeah. Well, and I can just I'm just gonna maximize or whatever SPX on this, and then I can just shitpost on the other one. So
yeah,
it's a mix.
Yeah,
Thank you. All right, I'm gonna take a nap. Good night.
Good night, girl.
Good night.
Come on.
Thanks to say hello. What's that?
That's the way, though, isn't it? That's the way, though, isn't it? That's what everyone's been saying, right? Is make an alt, and he's done it, and you can do what you can have more freedom with the other account.
Oh yeah, can infiltrate more on various subjects, which was kind of what Tencho brought up this week. I will find his tweet. Like we need to infiltrate more in other ways, like doing something you like, and at the end infiltrate this domain to bring new people from other angle into the cognizer, which is a good idea. I will bring up the tweet on the Jumbotron. Hop. It's okay. So yeah, I made a tweet about that too. If you have skills you want to start to learn, you want to improve, like just do what you love and try to improve and document the thing, like make videos, make vlogs, make this kind of stuff. People love the zero to hero path, this kind of stuff. So it's a good way to bring other people and show them that's a good playground, the Cognisphere, to experiment. So I encourage everyone to do this. And how are you, Jess?
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Good, good. And you?
Yeah, Jesse. Hey, girl.
Hey, what's up? I haven't been on in a while. I've been I've been kind of laying low, working on my presentation for Amsterdam, trying to put a lot into it.
Yeah.
So I just, but you know, it's real interesting. I probably haven't been on in about 3 to 4 weeks, like really. And man, I don't know. It can't be just me, but like, there's a lot of new fucking aeons that I've never seen. So I took a month off and I came back, and like, there's a whole bunch of new people that are in the cognisphere, huh?
Oh, yeah. All this little essay on. That's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, there's like a lot of like, I was getting used to seeing the same people all the time, and that's cool. I love everybody, but then I took a month off, and I come back, and there's like hundreds of names that I've never seen that start to follow me, and I had to like follow back, and that's like that's a really interesting, great sign. I talk about that in my proof of human talk that I'm gonna be doing in Amsterdam.
Spoiler. Yeah.
Yeah, spoiler alert, right? I'll give you a little hint. We are the only. I don't. I always hesitate to call us meme coin because I think we're a movement coin. I don't really think we should even be categorized as a meme coin anymore. But from we are the only coin to have a 340% increase in holders during an 86% drawdown.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
huge.
There is
Whoa.
there is no other coin in the world that has done.
The only one.
Yes.
This is the voice of the Lord.
So I gave you guys got the first. You guys got the first sneak peek at the proof of human lecture.
Yeah.
It's on this
Thank you,
show
Jesse.
on Mike's show right here.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah, nice one, Jesse.
Yeah.
I know that the conference in Amsterdam will be a banger. We have a lot of people working on presentation, everything. I will meet the boys this weekend about that. And I'm very excited to meet you all because it will be like really cool. And how's the work, Jesse? Everything good?
Everything is great. Actually, I'm glad you just said that. Can I ask a favor of you?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So T Dog wants the lectures turned in by the 15th of April, which is fine. I just really don't want it to get. I don't want people to get a sneak peek at it before I present it.
Okay.
So I don't want it to get passed around once we turn them in early.
Okay. So.
So he's pointing to you, Mike.
Maybe
Don't be spreading the news, Michael.
Oh yeah. No problem.
Well, there's an element like when you present something for the first time. I really want. I've been working hard at it, and I want it to be the first time. You know what I mean? I don't want to get there, and then everybody who's putting together the conference has already read my presentation.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Mike.
No, you know what I'm saying? I'm just asking for a brotherly favor. That's all.
What, Mike? What are you saying that, Seb? What are you saying, Mike, Seb?
I'm just saying, Michael.
I'm not taking any secrets.
You guys are silly. I see polymetrics in the house. That's my boy
Oh
right
yeah.
there. You gave me a lot of inspiration to do this talk. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah.
His talk was incredible, and I was like, you know what, man, if we wanna be remembered like the first Bitcoin conferences, and even better, we have to have more polymetric type of talks, and I think you're gonna see that in Amsterdam big time.
Oh yeah. I'm very happy Polymetric coming to Amsterdam. It will be like an honor to meet you all. I'm really excited. It will be awesome.
Yeah, I'm spending a few days there. If anybody wants to get together, I'm gonna be there from the 8th until the 12th. I'm gonna make a little mini break of it.
Nice. Yeah, we'll probably be around at the same dates. Me too. So
All right,
we
great.
could hang.
Yep.
It was a pleasure.
All right, perfect. Yeah, I mean, I'm coming by myself. I was going to bring my family, but guess what, guys? My wife is pregnant. We're having a boy.
Oh,
And
congratulations!
thank you. Thank you.
Whoa.
Congrats, Jesse.
So, thank you. So I'm just going to come alone and make it a business trip, but not really business. Well, yeah, you know what? I've been treating it like a business trip. I've been putting hours in on this presentation, and I'm excited to show it to everybody. And I just want to make sure. I didn't realize until he called me the other day that we had to turn them in on the 15th so they can have it. I just don't want it to get around. I know Polymetric feels the same way for sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll see with T-Dog. We can have a conversation if you want, Jess. We'll see.
I'm gonna put some kind of like spyware on it for T-Dog and make sure no one opens it.
Like
Only
T-Dog's
kidding.
just there on a Friday night with his boys, just like beers, just reading through and being like, "We're gonna leak this." You'll never guess what Jesse wrote. All over the internet.
Oh God. Right. No, it's nothing heavy. It's just you know, I got inspiration from Polymetric, and I wanted to make it more of you know, something real and something important that, you know, in 10 years when people really look back and say, you know, when the beginnings of this movement, this community, and this cognosphere, like I want them to remember all of us, you know, which they will, but
Oh yeah.
it'll be very interesting.
Oh yeah. I feel you. Really, it will be like something people will remember. I'm sure.
Right. And you know, I'm writing a book, so I had to like the book wasn't about SPX, but Proof of Human is about SPX. So it kind of like it it's all correlated, right? Like SPX is Proof of Human, whether you like it or not. It's the most Proof of Human coin that's ever been out. So it's a very interesting concept. It's a very cool thing, and uh, I'm excited to teach about it. What remains human in a world of AI, right? What makes us human, and what's going to keep us human? And to be honest with you, something like the cognosphere is what it is, a place where you know you're going to go meet a different, you know, that you're going to be soul to soul with a human being and not a robot.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's such an important piece, like having this human connection. I think everything's moving so quickly. People are going to be not from, well, maybe I am inciting a bit of fear, but I feel like there is a bit of a Noah's Ark situation happening where people are going to gravitate towards whatever life raft is available, and I'm seeing things move so quickly. I'm seeing it's yeah, you know, incredible is a better word to use, Jesse, because for the first time I watched a little thing yesterday it was an economics talk, and it was just talking about as a result of war going on, how it's going to impact just basics here for everyday people. It's our energy prices. I'm sure it's the same for everyone. Energy prices and food's going to go up, and I was like, holy crap, what's the life raft? And it's obviously SPX, but in the short term, you know, something, you know, moving away from a time horizon. I like SPX like that. I think we all agree that, you know, no chart makes us all happier, healthier people. But I thought in terms of a very real time horizon for, you know, being able to afford groceries, I thought, what is the life raft available? And I was saying, I don't hear anybody here talking about a life raft outside of SPX kind of conversations. When I say here as well, I mean the UK. I don't mean us. I think that we're talking about the exact thing that's right. And I'm saying to myself, I'm looking for anything else other than SPX just for my day to day. And it's not bleak, but it's definitely the you know the waters of the flood they're past our toes now. You know, I think the water is at our ankles. I definitely feel a shift, and I think the water's at our ankles, and I think it's SPX does fix it. I don't know if you guys have found anything else, but yeah. Anyway, that's my way of saying I agree with you, Jesse. Excited to hear your contribution in Amsterdam. It sounds amazing.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm really impatient to hear you. With all this teasing you made, Jesse, but I know it will be awesome. But yeah, I feel the same, Seb. Like the more AI is progressing, the more the SPX thesis is like true and realizing, the self-fulfilling prophecy is like happening for real. We can have the AGI, the generalized AI already, like an AI that is good for various domains in general, and we're moving toward the ASI, that will be the super intelligence, and we are between the
Say
two.
that again, Mike. ASAI.
ASI, yeah.
ASI. So AGI isn't the final form. ASI is. Yeah.
Yeah, ASI is like um, the point where AI will be.
Guys, I lost you. I'm sorry. I didn't hear the end of. The last thing I heard was about the economics of the higher energy and food costs.
Seb, you were.
Oh yeah. I was just saying, Jesse, that with those costs, we need a life raft, right? And there's not many options, and I think that the SPX stands is a very very unique option. I just don't see other options like it.
Well,
It's actually within the power of the people.
well, okay, so it falls into the theory of the last economy. So what will happen is the most valuable assets on Earth going forward in the very near future will be human to human contact, authenticity, and scarcity. That's why Bitcoin is going to go to 20, 30, 40 million dollars a token, because of scarcity, and it's authentic. It's mathematically authentic. And that's why SPX will go to whatever it's going to go to, because it's authentically human. So those will be the most valuable assets in the last economy, and that's why we're set up perfectly, and that's why I think that's what you mean by how uniquely SPX is set up. It's really set up for the last economy, where human to human contact and scarcity will be the two most important, most valuable commodities in the economic universe.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good way to put it, as a commodity, and there'll be a resurgence. I think you might be rugging, Jesse. Can you hear me?
Is everybody again?
Jesse.
Damn.
I can hear you, Jesse. Oh, gone.
Jesse.
Gone.
Jesse.
I invite you again if you want.
Jesse.
Yeah. So I was saying, we already seen artificial narrow intelligence, ANI, which is AI specialized for tasks, translation, gaming, whatever you want. We are toward near the AGI, artificial general intelligence, which is like human level.
I'm in a bad area. It's my bad.
No problem, Jesse. Don't worry.
I hope you guys heard what I said.
Yeah, we heard you, bro. We heard you, man.
Okay, good.
What were you trailing with?
Say that again.
What were you in the middle of set? Like, what were you finishing up with?
Oh no, that was it. I don't know where you got it, except that we're uniquely positioned in the last economy due to the most valuable commodities in the future economy will be human to human contact and scarcity.
100%, mate. 6,900%.
Right. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't really think money is going to be what it is in the future. You're not going to really need money. It's not going to be about money anymore. It's going to be about human scarcity and what that means, and how that plays out. I really, like Elon Musk said, I don't even think you're going to have to worry about saving for the future, because I really think it's just going to be a universal high income, and things are not going to be what they are. Everything, once you have 8 billion robots building and creating like belts and shoes and foods and crops, and everything's going to be pennies on the dollar as it is now. And I don't think you're going to need money in the future the way that you look at it right now.
Do you know what I'm convinced that we will need, or that we always need, are resources. Like actual physical resources. Like, sorry, excuse the background. Like land, I heard someone say it. They said one house is still a house. Like one eon is one eon. And you think about all these things about what's the point of a house sometimes, and is that really a good investment as an asset, or how do you see a house, and thinking, well, it's still a piece of land and water and access to just basic resources. I think that airspace above you even. I think that those are the things that as we move into this AI period, it seems like those are the things that we have less and less of. We feel it with the housing, but I mean, I think it's expressed in other ways as well. And I think the resources end up dwindling, and we're focused on the money a lot, but it's not really the
You have to
money.
be focused on the assets. You have to be focused on the assets, and housing falls into assets.
Yeah, and I mean, what's like a painting is an asset, but is it a resource that we can actually utilize? I mean, it has tremendous value, art, but in terms of things of sustenance, I mean, I'm kind of biased. I
Right.
think things like water and land are the things that we
Of
get
course.
less and less of, and those are the things that, because if we're self-sustainable, it's kind of seen as like the hippie's dream. Can we just be self-sustainable? But it's not really, because once you've got your land, and if you have enough of it, then you can produce more to barter and trade more, which means that you're able to not even expand, but just to be able to self-sufficient. You can't necessarily be self-sufficient on a small plot of land, but if you have a decent amount of land, then you can have enough crops or whatever, or cattle or anything to barter, and then to be a tradesman or something. It seems like that along with and that includes human connection, because to barter and to trade, we need we need each other, and so that's how the human to human interaction works, right? Like the trust economy, the human piece that you're speaking about, Jesse.
Right. Well, real estate's a very interesting thing. I mean, so I study macroeconomics, AI, technology, crypto. Like I'm involved in a lot of different things, and there's a lot of real estate that is going to become available that has never even been touched before. So what we're doing right now, I'm involved with a company. This is really cool. Like this is like really cool shit that not many people are talking about right now. So where do you live, Seb?
Me, I'm in South London.
All right, South London. Are there like any areas like that are just really, really, really extremely difficult to get to, even by hiking and stuff like that?
No.
No.
No, there's no.
Right.
It's everything is available.
Well, all right. Well, let's just talk about, let's say, Hawaii, or let's say Colorado or something like that. So there's areas up in the mountains and up on top of waterfalls and up on top of rivers or up on top of like rainforests in the world that have never been able to get to, because you just can't get to it. But now you're going to have real estate that's going to be extremely cheap, like maybe on the top of an iceberg or on the type of just a deserted plateau in Greenland or Iceland, because you're going to have these eVTOLs, which are like drone taxis, which will be able to and I'm in the hotel business as well, which will be able to lift you up to a lodge that is isolated, that no one's ever been able to get to before. And this is very cheap real estate because there's nothing there. There's never been anything there. And so you have, once these eVTOLs, which are electric vehicles, what are they? Something takeoff and landing, open takeoff and landing, that you're going to be able to get to these really cool landscapes, maybe in the middle of the Sahara or in the middle of the Amazon, or that just you could not get to before. These are going to be new areas of travel and tourism and land that you'll be able to get to now that has never been around, and the property will be cheap because it's never been used. So there's a lot of really cool things that are happening right now once AI and autonomous cars, robo-taxis are out, and then you have the flying drone taxis. Like there's going to be real estate that not just level street and train and what you know right now. There's going to be other levels of this.
Mike, you were going through an AI thread. Your 2 points into link here, Mike.
What, sorry?
Oh.
I was thinking, sorry, what you said.
No, I was saying you were speaking about AI as well. Does you do your what your thoughts on what Jesse was saying?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Because you were speaking on it just before he rugged.
Oh yeah, I was just saying we're moving toward artificial superintelligence, which will be like AI better than every humans combined in every tasks. So the more this is happening, the more the SPX thesis is playing out. That's what I was saying. Like it's exactly the same as the proof of human Jesse is talking about on many levels.
Amazing.
Jesse, what's your? I mean, someone had to ask this question. Flying cars.
Yeah.
What happens if you fall out? You can't have a parachute.
No,
What do you do?
You're not going to fall out. So right now, the AI driving fully autonomous cars are 95 to 90%, 97% safer. The data has come out than any human driving. Matter of fact, they're talking about it being illegal for humans to drive in 5 to 10 years because it would be like smoking indoors. That like you're not allowed to smoke.
Oh,
Jesse.
it's ringing.
Jesse. Oh, Jesse, you just dropped out for a second. Could you go just go back 10
So like
seconds?
people will be like, "Why are you driving when my kids are on the street? Like you shouldn't be driving. You can't drive as good as an autonomous car." And the studies now, I think they have 3 billion miles, are showing now that the fully automatic drivers are 90 to 95% safer than human drivers. There'll be the same thing with the eVTOLs, the flying cars, the flying taxis. You'll be able to take them 10 to 20 kilometers when they come out in the next 2 or 3 years. You'll be able to take it from like the airport to the soccer stadium. There'll be spots where it goes, and this is a whole new avenue for real estate because now real estate will be built up off of the ground that you've never thought of, just like the Jetsons, believe it or not.
Wow, crazy.
Yeah, it's happening right now. It's not in the future. These things are going to be out in the next 2 to 3 years at full scale.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's kind of sick. That's actually pretty cool.
This is the most incredible time to be alive. We are on the long. So the Industrial Revolution, everything was like a slow, steady pace up. This revolution, basically this tech revolution, it's a logarithmic curve. We're on the curve of exponential growth. We're right on that curve of liftoff, and it's a really cool place to be. That people don't really understand. A lot of my friends can't even understand. They make fun of me because they think that this stuff is 50 years away. And what I try to explain to them is 50 years now is 5 years. 30 years is 3 years. 1 year is 1 month. Like, that's how fast this AI thing is going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's exponential growth. It's crazy.
Right. We're right on the curve. We're right on that bottom up, like that lift off. And it's going to be really cool to see. And you're going to see longevity escape velocity. Do you guys know what that is?
Oh yeah.
That sounds like explain it please, man. I think I get the concept, but
so right now, for every year you're alive, the AI and the technology and the breakthroughs give you 3 to 4 months back. In about 5 to 10 years, if you could just last another 5 or 10 years, the AI and the technology will give you a year for a year. That's called longevity escape velocity. You become basically immortal. Now, I don't know if everyone will want to do that, but you will have the ability. There is somebody living today that's going to live to 200 years old.
Yeah, I believe that. I've heard that actually recently. It makes sense, doesn't it, that we're so close
it's a software code. All you got to do is break this. Once they broke the DNA code, it's just software.
Yeah.
Right. The hardware with the body we can take care of it. It's the software of the breakdown. Once you stop the telomeres from shortening, that's why they study. There's a Greenland shark that lives to 450 years old, and there's a jellyfish that's actually immortal that never dies.
Yeah, they can reverse aging, like reprogramming cells and this kind of stuff will be like not a dream and probably soon a reality.
Right. My son is a type 1 diabetic. He's 9 years old. I have no doubt in my mind or life that his will be cured within 10 years. Easy.
Yeah, like the advances, even like I don't remember, but my granny, when she was a kid, her brother had severe, I think it was I can't remember, brain or heart issue. And then he lived to like the age of 20. and then that was it. And then my younger cousin had the same condition, and there was surgery for it, and it was just a basic procedure. And so it's been that's such a long gap between that procedure being the norm, and that is incredible. I wonder what we think is impossible today, that in a year's time will just be completely blown out the water. Like, could you see, Jesse, with, I guess, robotics? How do you kind of see the future of your industry in surgery?
Oh, I'll be done in 3 to 7 years. The best surgeons on the planet will be robots.
Yeah, fair play, mate. Fair play. Is do you think would you still want to stay in the medical game, or are you kind of with this anticipation, are you looking for
Well, for me, I've always done it as a hobby. It's never been a job. I just love to operate. My dad was an artist. I come from art, so for me, my operating room is like my ceremony. I don't treat it as like medicine. As a matter of fact, I can't stand medicine. Centralized medicine is completely fucked up and wrong, and big pharma is completely fucked up. I only went into sports orthopedics, where I get baseball players and soccer players and football players back. So I only deal with helping people and seeing them smile. I don't deal with sickness. I don't deal with cancer. I don't deal with death. Thank God there's people out there that do that, but that's just not what I wanted to do. I wanted to be like my dad and make people smile with his. He was an artist, and make people smile with my hands. So if I didn't get into sports orthopedics, I actually took 15 chef classes. I was going to cook and do that. So for me, it really wasn't medicine. It was just sports surgery to help people get back to playing again. So it's a little different take than most doctors. That's why I probably don't act like most doctors and don't like most doctors and don't hang out with doctors. But I definitely think that I will be phased out. Now, hopefully I'll still be able to do some surgery on some humans that only want a human to do it. But again, I won't be as good as the robots, and I'm okay with that. I understand that. So it'll be very interesting. But remember, I've allocated myself to other businesses and Bitcoin for 11 years and never sold, and have a couple of AI companies and a couple of hotel companies and stuff like that I do to kind of like create, right, as an artist. I never wanted to just, I started to get bored doing one thing, and I like to know about everything and practice all the futuristic macroeconomic AI, blockchain, crypto, technology things that I can, because I really believe that's the coolest thing in the future. Like, I really like the study of consciousness and medicine, consciousness medicine with a shaman, and seeing other dimensions and learning the stuff that the masters knew,
Jesse the Consciousness Wizard? That's really cool, man. I know I've heard you talk about. Go on, mate.
Like, you don't ever want to get stuck in you want to expand. Like, the only way to evolve as a human is to go through the unknown or what you're scared of, or else you just never evolve. And that's the key. The key is to evolve. And I actually think Homo sapien will be phased out soon, and we're going into a different type of species, maybe Homo technology or whatever it is. But we're not going to be Homo sapien much longer. That'll be the next book.
Do you know your point, actually, Jesse, of having a human surgeon? I'm sure there'll be some sort of research that expands on it if it doesn't already exist. But I can imagine with AI operating on somebody, what it will really do after trust is built with the machines, is like robotics doing it for them, is people will start to self-heal, which I imagine you probably see a lot of is do they actually believe in the healing process or not? And I can also imagine that you being a human being opposite them, for example, I don't know if you're into things like Reiki and other healing methodologies,
Of course,
and energy work.
of course, yeah. I do. That's why I practice my energy every night, my meditations every single night. And that's the most important. That's the medicine that I practice with my surgery.
Sick. What kind of how do you set it up?
Well, okay. So in my field, if you break a bone, it has to be fixed, right? Like if you physically break a bone, I have to sometimes put a plate and screws on it. But everything else, like my wife is a Chinese medical doctor. We don't believe in surgery and medication. We believe in healing with energy and Reiki and acupuncture and sound and frequency healing. And I think that's going to be the key. I think frequency healing will be the key to everything.
Yes, Jesse.
And you know, I think we're going to recover some of the lost mystic arts, like the healing, like Jesus and Moses and all these, and the pyramids. Like these people understood how to manipulate space, time, and matter with frequencies. And I think I think there's a great awakening happening right now, and it's going to come back.
There's do you know Robert Monroe?
Of course, Bob Monroe. I'm a member of his institute.
I I so the
By the
concept.
way, I practice remote viewing.
Oh, Jesse, we're gonna have to connect so hardcore when we get to Amsterdam.
Yeah,
I need to pick your brains, man.
anytime.
A lot,
Yeah.
a lot. There was I just heard his concept of loosh, and if anyone's not familiar with it, it's I might be butchering the kind of description of it, but it's the idea of I think it's not just negative energy, but it's the harvesting oftentimes of this negative energy, or the emission of this negative energy that is intentionally being poked and prodded to be extracted from us, and how it's being vampirically drained. I don't know if I use it correctly, Jesse. I don't know if you like loosh is loosh loosh is like the energy that we're releasing, or the process,
You know
and
what?
that's the lower.
I'm honestly not up to date with that. Honestly, I've been doing a lot of just like remote viewing practices the workshops that they have for that. I'm not really familiar with that though, honestly.
It's literally just what you were saying, the frequency stuff.
Right.
Like when we're in SPX, we're practicing a frequency that is, to an outsider or even to insiders, maybe not even perceived for the actual pure magic that it is. But then on the other side, that it's this lower vibrational frequency stuff that is being vampirically harvested from us.
Right. Well, it could be. There's a book called Transurfing Reality. Have you guys seen that or read that?
No. What's the premise?
Okay, so I just walked into the Apple store. I'm sorry about that, ma'am. Sorry. I'm sorry about that. I have to buy a new MacBook. I'm going in to do some real big time vibe coding. Try to build this. There's a real thing going on, like with like these single person $1 billion companies that they're building. So I'm gonna try and go ahead and do it. But anyways, so reality transurfing is everything that like whatever you want it to be, like whatever you want to do in this world, or whatever you want to garner, or whether it's money or profession, it like the outcomes are already there. You just have there's an infinite amount of outcomes that are already there. You just have to learn how to get on the frequency that pertains to that. So like if you want to be rich, it's already there. You just have to find the frequency that the rich is sitting on. There's a poor, there's a middle, there's a up, there's a down. Like so everything, all the outcomes of reality are actually in this universe, in this dimension, in these multi dimensions. But you just have to find the frequency that will do that for you. So it's a really cool book. It was made by Vadim something. He's like a Russian physicist. He wrote the book and disappeared. So my thinking is that he was a time traveler or something. It's a really cool book. It's called Transurfing Reality, or Reality Transurfing. It's like 900 pages, but it's well worth it. And then you could practice it. Like no one's doing this kind of magic that he does, and it's been working ever since I read the book, and I've been trying. So, like for instance, if you want money, let's just say like riches is a goal of yours. So like when how can I explain this? If you love an apple, you use the same amount of energy if you love an apple or you hate an apple. It's the same amount of energy. So to hate something is the same amount of energy to love something. So it's like swimming. The harder you swim, the more resistance you get. So if you want money, you have to stop stop thinking about how to get money all the time and what it would be like with money, and don't think about not having money. All you do is you sit in the middle and you glide like a dolphin, and then the money comes to you. So you don't try. You just like you do what is the right thing to do to get on that frequency without thinking about it, and then it all comes to you.
What's the book called, Jesse?
I'm gonna have it right now. Hold on. I always get the two words messed up. It's I don't always get confused if it's reality transurfing, not transurfing reality. It's reality transurfing by Vadim Zealand.
Nice one. Reality transurfing.
Right, it's a method. It's a really cool method, and I've been practicing it since I've read the book, and it really works for me. It's basically all your outcomes of whatever you want in life are already there. You just have to figure out how to get on that frequency of where it's sitting.
How would you? Because that's really interesting, man. I really want to learn that because I've been doing my own sort of methodology of that frequency kind of attuning, but that sounds a bit deeper than what I've been on. And I'm wondering when you see like the SPX community, how well aligned are we, I suppose, with his methodology? And is there anything that we collectively would benefit from his method?
Yeah, I mean, I think that we're okay. So what attracts me to SPX is that. So I how can I explain it? In SPX, I don't have to try at all to be who I am. So in my regular life, right, in my professional life, I can't talk about crypto and AI, and especially I can't talk about plant medicine, right? Because they'll look at me like I'm crazy. Maybe someone will have a grudge on me and try to get my license away from me. So
Oh, we can hear you, Jess.
sorry.
Jesse.
Yep. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay.
So in my real life, I can't talk about plant medicine. I can't talk about crypto and AI and technology because these guys they just don't get it. And then if I talk about plant medicine, somebody might call the DEA on me and try to get me a drug bust. Right? Like there's this surgeon who does plant medicine. Blah 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 blah. So in SPX, it's authentically human. What I love about being in SPX is I can be exactly who I am and get on any frequency that I vibe with and and be part of something that's I know there are humans on the other side. And this is exactly what my talk's gonna do that. So like I can honestly come to the cognosphere and explore anything I want without judgment or anything. And listen, I know there's been some like arguments and some people get upset about things, but you know what? The coolest thing about it is that they all have a right to do that. And that's what the cognitive is about. And then once you understand that, like it doesn't matter what anybody says or who about a chart, no chart, this one, that one, blah, 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 blah. Like it's all the experience of the human connection. Like it's good to have a conversation about chart and no chart. It's good to have a conversation about peaceful life over greed. It's good to have a conversation about stop trading and believe in something. Like these are all things that are counter cult against TradFi. So of course, you have to also accept the people that don't understand it yet. That's why I get a little annoyed. And honestly, I took a break, from the whole thing for a little while because like I didn't like the arguing with Hype and Nick and like. But then I sat back and I said, you know what? That's actually part of being human. And so I said, okay. And I reached out to Hype and I reached out to Nick and I spoke to them. I wanted to understand where they were coming from. And so as far as going back to like this community in Cognisphere allows any frequency that you determine is good for you without having judgment or worry from anybody else. And that is the essence of proof of human and human connection. And that's why SPX is really, 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 really situated in a really nice position if we continue to allow everybody to be themselves.
Yeah, that was well said, mate. I really love that, Jesse.
Yeah, definitely. And like arguing and not having the same views on stuff is good. In fact, it's like bringing
It's
different
human.
people.
It's
good.
human.
Yeah.
It's human.
And it's like bringing different people with different view on the same stuff, and it's like enriching the whole stuff for me. Like even if I don't agree sometimes with people, I know the best option will be naturally took by people and kept in the community. You know, it's like a
Right.
natural thing.
And I'll be honest with you, I did some research on the whole there is no chart, and I understand where everybody's coming from. But again, like there is a chart. Like in real life, there really is a chart that people
Oh,
look at.
Jesse, what are you doing?
I'm
Not
just listen. I'm
agreeing.
You're
telling you.
breaking up,
Not
Jesse. Jesse,
agreeing.
you're
I
break.
know. I know. I know.
Jesse,
I know.
Jesse, you're
I
rugging me.
know. But, I'm just telling you that there are people in this cognosphere that depend on that chart. And whether it's not on your frequency or it's in someone else's frequency, it has to be talked about. But listen, I understand it. Trust me. I talk about the no chart theory, and I'm very for the no chart theory because it takes away all the anti-human algorithmic bot traders. So I totally understand it, and it makes you human. It makes you hold something on belief instead of algorithmic computation of mathematics. I understand that, but you can't get mad at people. Or like I got berated by a few people online because I put a chart up by mistake, and like what I got was like totally not nice. You know what I mean? And so I kind of like I took a step back because I was like, wait a second, like they have to accept that I'm an Aeon and I'm talking about it and have a conversation with me. Don't just start ripping my head off.
Yeah, I understand what you're talking about. Like things can be done more nicely sometimes, but it's really an important point, as you know, that having no charts is maintaining everyone focused on the goal and not distracted.
A hundred percent, a
I know,
hundred,
I know you know that.
and maintaining no chart takes a lot of humanism,
Oh yeah.
right? You have to really believe and be human to say there's absolutely no chart. That's been the hardest part for me in this. I've researched it and I studied it and I know why now. I know why there's no chart. I do.
Oh yeah.
But that's hard for a lot of people. And you can't just like everybody has to be aware and be sympathetic that some people, are looking to SPX to get out of their financial situation.
I think that's
And
maybe. Oh, sorry.
and like you can't ignore that. A lot of these Aeons didn't get in at $7 million market cap, and now everything is just 5x already, and they don't have to worry about anything. Like some people, like the one guy I met, Luigi, I met at Basel. Bro, he got in at $2, and he's still in, and he's not sold, and he still loves us. But like he's hurting financially.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but the stuff is I can really talk about that because I've been through hack and lost everything and this kind of stuff. The thing is to treat it as a non-financial stuff. That's this way we can keep like the pure feeling of it and the proof of human and the humanity inside of it.
Mike, you just hit it right on the head. That's exactly how I explain it in my lecture.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Why
sorry.
why that's right. Why no chart is that important. But remember, it took me, somebody who's very, very, I think, smart, it took me a month of researching why.
Oh yeah.
Why is it important that there's no chart?
Yeah.
Right? Because somebody who's coming from macroeconomics, that Bitcoin for 11 years and has other businesses and a surgeon and blah, 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 blah. Why does it not make sense to look at a chart? Right? Like I had to digest that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But I got but I got really kind of like insulted by people
Oh yeah,
that
that's
were
not nice. I agree.
right.
Yeah, yeah, and
You
we could
know,
do I think more nicely. At the beginning, it was more of a joke to say this to people and not being negative or like shouting against people. I prefer the way of refuting this idea with a joke. Normally that's what it is to set no charts. It's like saying no charts and putting funny memes saying there is no charge. That's the better intention, I
right.
guess.
And
But
listen, it makes a lot of sense. Like once I researched it, like the only way to really, like you said, the only way to really be proof of human is there to be no chart, right? And like You just have a place where you're going to meet humans. Like the Cognisphere is, I would say, the first economy ever where it's soul to soul contact.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, sorry, Seb, just one sentence. I remember Ten Show saying a sentence I love. It's like, uh, ca- um, carry the goals so you won't. Sorry, what was the sentence? It was like carry the goal so you won't have ever to think about money. This kind of this stuff, you know. Like be more focused on the goal and reach the goal, and you won't ever have to think about financial stuff and these kind of
And that's
complicated stuff.
transurfing reality. Don't think about it. Let it come to you doing your natural flow of evolution.
Oh yeah,
That's like
so listen.
no. It's perfect, Mike. And it's the I was just thinking as you guys were talking that if on that journey to flipping the stock market, there's going to be things that we can't possibly imagine that will come up, and we won't be able to fathom. And what's that saying? If you'd have realized what the journey would hold for you, would you have started? And a lot of people wouldn't. And that's the beauty of the ignorance of starting the journey. And I think that trust of the trust of just being able to step into it and make it happen. At some point, we're going to have to step out of all rationale, because right now we're kind of actually still in a pretty rational space. I can rationalize everything that's happening. The more I hear Matt Beck explain it, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense now. All of my spiritual feelings have been summed up by the boys on Flip the Stock Market. The four of them managed to contextualize all those woo-woo feelings I was having. But there will come a point where, and like you were saying, Jesse, some people that's not hit them, and you've done a month of research, and that's amazing. And I think that we're going off into two thoughts, but you get to be right, and other people get to be right at the same time, which I know is what we're talking about. And I do think that there will come a time though when we'll be called on as a community to hit something that is so unfathomable, and we'll have to really burn the charts. I don't know, like we'd have to like storm. I'm being silly here, but maybe it gets this silly. We'd have to storm CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko, and if they even pretend to make an SPX chart, we'd petition to get it down. That sounds really absurd, but I think there's a space that we have to go to hit 69 trillion and above. That will be.
Hey guys, I'm just gonna put
beyond.
you on mute. I'm just gonna put you on mute because I'm talking to somebody in the Apple store, but I'll be listening. So when I get out of the store, I'll definitely come back on.
You good,
Yeah,
Jesse?
don't worry,
Yeah.
just it's okay. If there's some people that want to join and talk, you can, guys. We are waiting for you, girls.
We got to call them up, Mike. I see TradFi Nightmare. So I'm just going to call you guys out. Saucy,
Yeah,
Jordan, Spacey, get on up here. Polymetric's been here. Come on, Polymetric.
Mondaeon,
Ren, I see you.
Ren, Nanolith, everyone, Chris.
Do you know what? Let's start sending invitations. Can't be.
Join, girls. Yeah, and that's very interesting, all this stuff. And there's definitely something special in SPX that when you enter in the Cognisphere, you cannot move out. And I've seen this a lot. And not only me, like some people I've seen move away and finally they came back because they can they can never really quit the Cognisphere. It's like an idea that stay in your brain once it enter,
You can't get this anywhere else. Like, where else can you get this? I don't think that's just us being. I don't think this is delusional. I don't even think that word is applicable anymore. I don't think this exists anywhere else. I don't see it. I don't see any alternatives. That I don't I don't see any alternatives. I genuinely think that you can't. Why would you not come back? You have to come back because you're gonna leave the warm teat of SPX that is giving you, and you're gonna Where are you going to go? Everything else is a barren wasteland.
Yeah, that's true.
Apart from following your own passions, which is 100% the most important thing anyone can ever do, which is to follow your heart and soul. So if people do leave SPX, they're doing it for whatever has called them, and hopefully it's for something of a higher calling. But most people will be passionless.
Yeah, but the thing is, the time is running for us, as we were saying. The more AI is like improving and developing, the more we are sure SPX is the the right narrative and theory and missions and everything. And you have more and more proof every day with information coming out that the 500 is the real enemy too. So it's kind of like multiple perfect angles for the future, like solutions to a lot of stuff with this proof of human. Like you have many angles in SPX together that make it very special in a lot of ways.
Yeah, you wrote a really good post, Mike, on the 500, and I actually think it's the best post I've seen condensed
Oh,
that I've read
thanks.
in
Thank you.
like I can't remember reading a better post about the direct problems of the 500. And I know I was speaking a bit about it last week, just trying to find more content. I read R. Lanky's book,
Oh, nice.
and I
Yeah,
still gone.
1 year probably from there, I made a very exhaustive post about the 500s and all the categories of stuff that are harming the world. And I could find you back the posts probably and send it to you. It was like almost a thread about that. I could send it to you. It was my primary stuff that make me stick and come to the cognisphere is like these 500 flipping. I'm like a warrior since the beginning, like against this stuff. So it's really my thing in the cognisphere, my favorite stuff, I guess.
Your Eon thesis that got
Yeah,
you.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, you write tremendously, Mike. And yeah, if you would feel like going to that effort, I would appreciate it so greatly, man.
Yeah,
I'm
same to you. No problem, bro.
I'm here's a question, and Mike and anyone else who might feel called to maybe lend some advice to me. But I want to say things on the megaphone, right? That hit just like your post, Mike. And if you don't mind, I'm gonna probably try my best to quote
Oh yeah,
your post. But what I want to do is I want to, when I'm trying to connect the 500 to being the problem, it becomes quite long-winded, and I realize that when I'm using the megaphone, which I actually want to get better at being more impactful with it, I'm thinking that I've probably got a safe 15 to 20 seconds where I can
oh yeah.
have a reach on people before I'm out of their sound space. And I'm just thinking, how can you think of any ways that I can sort of, you know, what's causing them pain, and how do I connect that to the 500, which is obviously the cause. Well, it's obviously the infrastructure that is
Well,
responsible for that amongst the companies.
that's kind of very easy. In fact, you have to find all the different domains present in the 500s, like pharmaceutics, like weapons manufacturing, like clothes, like
Mm,
food, like you name all of them, and you will easily find the connection on a lot of stuff that are bad happening these days.
sure.
So
So you're saying like
that's
highlight the clothes they're wearing and stuff.
yeah, the food industry. I made a post. I will find you. I took all of the domains and just made what you were asking for. So I will find you the post.
Yeah, that's actually so simple. It makes so much sense. I don't know why. I guess because I was just been it's been blowing my mind, and I've been seeing. Oh wait, the 500 the 500 is making these problems.
Like when you have like the people making weapons, they are pushing for wars to sell more weapons. It's like every time these relations, like they have something to sell, so they push like politics or whatever to make people desperately need their project, and every domain is working like this. And another angle is like, once you talk about these domains, you can like study who's the biggest player in the SP500, like BlackRock, like Vanguard, all these guys.
Yes.
And
Yes.
after you like link them to all the activities, I just learned that like BlackRock is like owning 10 to 15% to Vanguard, and Vanguard is owning like the third, and the third is owning BlackRock. It's like a triangulation of owning the stocks of the other. So it's kind of,
Really?
yeah,
Wait.
it's evil. I made some research about that.
What? Wait. So BlackRock owns
Uh,
part of Vanguard
yeah, and it's
and vice versa.
yeah, vice versa, exactly. So
Whoa.
it's all the same people like playing the same games for the same gains, and a lot of narrative are pushed for consumption and all the selling products they provide, and it's kind of the real right enemy. Like, even like, I don't know, like women's making like birth rates shrinking, a lot of this stuff. And you have tech, and you have, okay, I stop it. I I don't want to talk too
No,
much more.
it's really good. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, don't
You,
worry. I will
this,
try to find you the post.
yeah, thank you so much, my friend. It's so helpful because I guess not. Yeah, it's very helpful for me. Thank you, because that gives me something to work with. So I want to make some nice sound bites that don't. Because I was thinking how, like saying that people are complicit doesn't really hit, because we're all complicit in things, aren't we? There's something that we're complicit in, and opting out is obviously a really powerful strategy,
Yeah.
and yet people get a bit overwhelmed. I know that I have in the past, when I say, "Oh, if I give up this, then I'm going to give up that," and then what does it all mean? And do I really make a difference? 100% you make a difference, and most importantly, we make a difference to ourselves, which is the only energy that we can be responsible for. But opting out doesn't resonate. And I'm listening to this really cool guy. His name is Gary Stevenson. He does economics for just everyday people, which I'm finding really really nice to digest. And he talks about opting out. No, he doesn't talk about opting out. Sorry, he definitely doesn't say opting out. He talks about taxing the rich,
Hmm.
and he talks about owning assets. And his work is so SPX coded in terms of assets, because when he talks about assets, the things that he talk about are 500 integrated. Like he's part of the system in that sense. But his other message of tax the rich sounds, even though the more I hear his message, I hear that it's a very thoughtful process. It's not as basic as that sounds, but that sounds very bohemian, counterculture, and it basically asking people to tax the rich, opt out, and you're complicit. Just I notice it repels people rather than it pulls them in. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, and like something interesting is like being ethical when investing. Because if you're not ethical in investing, you kinda pushing and give it force to some stuff that will kill you later, in fact. And that's kinda very interesting to dig into these ideas. And I'm just like putting SP500 on my profile, and I wrote a lot during 1.5 years about that on my profile. I just forgot, but you can study like the the how you say in English, when a court, the sentence about SP500 industries. A lot of them have been like sentences for corruptions, for illegal marketing tactics, for a lot of this stuff. You can study these parts to understand how evil is the SP500 too. Like, there is record of
Yeah.
fine, this kind of stuff, you know?
Yeah, I want to. Yeah, like I think my idea is, for example, a lot of the time I'm in city of London, where people are far more savvy than. No, maybe that's not the right way to say. But yeah, I guess I want to hit. I want to kind of hit the people who are, when I'm on London Bridge and in front of the Bank of England, I want to hit those people as well, because they're often the people who are making not the biggest decisions, but they are making some pretty big decisions for our economy here. And I think that it's a lot easier when I'm in other districts and they I can just say the I've used probably more inflammatory language, which I don't really want to use because I don't like an us versus them sort of rhetoric, but something along the lines of they're poisoning us. And if I say that in certain areas, people will go, yeah. But if I say that in front of the Bank of England, look, I'm going to get security will come up to me really fast, and you're allowed to protest, but there will be a backlash. At least there'll be people will ignore me because they're not of that energy in that space. They want something else, They want to be intellectually stimulated. Yeah, Ian go they and imagine me just like some goof walking around, being like, "Hey guys, I'm in yellow." They are judging me, and I guess yeah. So that's very helpful. Thanks, Mike. I appreciate you helping to synthesize
Yeah,
that a bit
yeah.
for me.
Don't worry. It's my pleasure to fed the 500s.
Yeah, for the 500. Here you go. You're gonna have to come up. You've given one too many emojis for avoiding it. Chris, I see you, brother. Dill in the house. Come on, brother. I just sent you guys invites. There's nowhere to hide. Hey, girl.
Hi, girl.
Hi, girls. I have to hop off in like a couple of minutes, but
Couple of hours.
I want your sources. I'm trying to gather as many sources as possible that give good explanations to exactly what the 500 is made of and what they are doing and the interconnections there. So I would love to see these things.
Oh, sure. Sure. I will send it to you, girl. Don't worry.
Thanks, girl.
I just have to find it back because I have like 25K posts about it.
Eon.
So just have to find it. And yeah, I was saying to you, I was like obsessed at one point to understand this too.
Yeah.
And
Well, for a while it's been off and on of just gathering things so that I can share with my friends a better explanation of SPX, and I feel like that's a important thing to include in this presentation.
Yeah, Eon girl, I'll send you Alanki's book. I'll shoot you a DM with it because in fact I'll put it in the comments as well because I found that really
It's
helpful.
just a draft right now, right?
It is, but I think it's got this a pretty fleshed out skeleton of things that for me anyway I found it really helpful just in terms of he puts this blew my mind because when Ruben's on the street I've actually wanted him to expand on this and I think he does it really well in the book. So he says what does he say who makes the British pound and the equivalent for the US, and it ends up that he puts in the book that people like if you want to take out a loan for 500k, private banks just make that they just create that out of thin air, and that is mind blowing because that and he puts stuff like so they just create that money out of thin air, and then now you've got that loan, and now you work hard to repay that loan to that bank with interest. So they've all of a sudden given you the stress, the pressure, the time constraints to give them a money they only created for you to give back to them. So it was like
Yeah.
if the interest, I don't know, I'm just making up a number, is what, an extra 50k, they've just made 550k out of nothing, and you've had to put your actual physical energy labor into returning something they just clicked the button for.
I know all about this. I have student loans up the wazoo.
Yeah. Do you think the US will? I heard something at one point that they'll just. Is this a fable that Trump would just scratch those off the record, or is that?
We've been hearing that for ages. Who knows?
It's just a It's just a myth.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully, we get some sort of forgiveness down the road. I think, like, after 10 years of being graduated, you get some form of forgiveness. I'd have to look back into that, but I actually have to go right now. But it's been a great listen today, and I'll chat with you guys later. I love you.
Love you,
Thank you,
girl.
girl. Love you, girl.
Bye.
Have a good day, night.
You too.
Adios.
Bye.
Mike, to Ian Girl's point there, do you perhaps know any way? I'm really going for it now. Do you know any way that student debt might be connected to the 500? That
I didn't understand what you said. Sorry.
Do you know any way that student debt? So that
Oh,
making up.
student debt. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, loans, student loans.
Okay. Student debt. So it's the school business. Do we have some schools in the 500s?
I mean,
Okay, let me just make a quick research. SP 500 schools or education, maybe?
like maybe because the government, right? Maybe the government is incentivized. Maybe they receive like there must be a link between between the government and like the government can't be acting solely. They must be influenced by the 500 or your asset managers, BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street, etc. There must be some link there to how bad, how out of control that's gotten, right?
That's
I'm thinking.
crazy. There is an article on Mondaeon saying like the top school to be graduate, uh, top undergraduate institution for SP 500 CEOs. If you want to become
Whoa!
SP 500 CEOs, there is schools that are the best for it. That's crazy.
Holy crap!
I don't know so much how the scholar system in the US is working, but it's a good point to study. I will make some research, and probably Aeon Girl was the best person to explain this.
I know
But
I
she
talk
moved.
too much.
But she moved no. But yeah, we'll check this subject. It's interesting because it could be like directly easily bring some students in SPX because they are currently leaving the fight.
Yeah, Jesse, welcome back, girl. Do you perhaps have any concept of that? I don't know if you heard that. Just
I just got back on. I actually had to buy. I went and bought a Mac. I'm trying. I'm gonna try to build a total AI company. We'll see what happens.
get those machines to work. Crack the whip, Jesse. Crack the whip.
I know, right? I'm gonna have 25 artificial employees and have no payroll. I like that idea.
No breaks either. Make them sweat for their wage.
What did I miss? What did you want me to chime in on?
Well, I just wondered if you had any idea of. We were just talking about the 500, and Mike was kindly offering some connections for me to sort of work with. So um, what was one of the examples? It's already gone from my head. Food, like the food industry. The food industry is one that directly impacts people. It's something you can say to any person you just walk in front of, and you can say, "Hey, the food industry, 1, 2, 3, the S&P 500 is connected, and this is how they're kind of orchestrating your downfall." Well, Eon Girl was just up, and she's just mentioned her massive student loans. I'm just wondering if you might have any idea how and if the S&P 500 might be connected to the the sort of madness around student loans and
I mean, I don't. Student loans are very tricky right now. Because I personally don't think student loans are going to have to be paid back in the future. I think everything's going to be forgiven.
oh
Um,
really? How come?
yeah, I do. Well, because the economics of university don't make sense anymore, and you're having a mass exodus from university. Um, it used to be when I went to school, maybe it cost $150,000 for the 4 years, and then you come out making $80,000. Now university is $300,000 to $400,000 for the 4 years, and you may come out with a job, you may not, and you might get a job that pays $40,000. So the actual economics of university, unless you want to be a doctor or lawyer or need some kind of certificate, the financial economics don't match anymore to do university. So in the Fortune 500 companies, it used to be when we would interview people, it used to be, what school did you graduate from? And then obviously all the Ivy League schools would be the ones that you would look for. But now in our interviews, we don't ask them those questions anymore. We actually only ask, what schools did you get an interview to? Because all the top students and all the top minds either don't go to university or drop out after the first year.
So now they're more, you're screening for more rebellious, in entrepreneurial
Brains, right? Think independent thought processes,
Sure,
independent
sure.
thinkers. So the other thing is, again, the school frame doesn't work anymore, right? You have hard focus, wide frame, or sorry, hard focus, narrow frame, and soft focus, wide frame learning. And you ask yourself, why do all the top people's kids not go to school anymore? Why are they all homeschooled or going to alpha school or going to X school? And I'll tell you, the reason why my kids won't go to school or don't go to school is because, Seb, what's your hobby? What do you love?
I love boxing and poetry, reading poetry, writing
Okay.
poetry, and writing.
Let's say poetry. Let's say poetry. Okay. Now, the real way to think in independent thought and processes are, this is the newer thought, not the Industrial Revolution schooling, right? That teaches you to be an employee, and I'll explain what I mean. So if me and you went to the bookstore and we went to the poetry section and we pulled out a book and we talked about it and it was just fun and awesome, we'd be able to go back to Mike tomorrow and be like, hey, Mike, we read this amazing poetry book. Chapter 5 was about Edgar Allan Poe. Chapter 6 was about Carl Jung. Chapter 7 was this, and it was amazing, right? That's how you learn. That's soft focus, wide frame. Or you're going to school and they're going to tell you, you're going to read this book on the chapter that I tell you for the weeks that I tell you. Then you're going to take a test based on my interpretation of the book.
Yeah.
Right? So that's not how you learn. That's how that so you ever like study something so hard that on like the night or the day of the test you forgot everything because you studied it so hard, right? Like,
Yeah, I've been there.
or like you're in a play or a musical and like you studied your lines so hard, you knew them, but the night it came up, you blanked, right? Because that's hard focused, narrow frame, and you can't retain and you can't have fun with it. And that's how schools unfortunately teach, and that's how universities teach. Most of them. I'm not going to say everybody because I know Spacey's here right now and she's a great teacher. But you know, and that's the problem of university. So you're going to teach like that, and then you're going to have all this debt, and then you're going to have no jobs, and then even if you get a job, they're not paying you anything anymore. So the whole finances of universal institutions don't make sense anymore.
I mean, yeah, that would be tremendous if they would sort of like, especially in the, I mean, yeah, the US sounds worse than here, I would say, for student loans.
I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is.
Like,
but I do believe that the student loans in the future will be forgiven, or there will be some kind of again when we come out with universal high income or universal basic income, something will be calculated in that there will be some kind of exemption or something will happen because it doesn't make any sense to have $300,000 in school loans when there are no jobs.
yeah, preach. That's a really good point. Like isn't that an obscene amount that you can have hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt and student loan, and you're just, that can't compute when your day to day is not that money. That's just so silly. It's
You want to know
almost
the
like,
really interesting?
yeah,
You
go
want to know
on.
the really interesting thing? Okay, so there's about to be a private credit. There's about to be a financial collapse in private credit. And it's really interesting because in the past, let's say like the whole past was industrial revolution. Now we're at the technology revolution, right? AI technology. So things are different. But in the past, whenever there'd be like a hard time in the economy, the people that would get hit the most are like, let's just say the bottom tier, like the lowest of the low would just get crushed, right? Well, what's happening right now is the people that are starting to default because the AI, they're taking the jobs of blue collar people. So they're taking the jobs of accountants and lawyers and computer engineers, software people. So the people that are defaulting on their mortgages and their loans are actual like let's just say the middle class normal people for the first time.
It's the
So
hitting.
like it's hitting that section of people that never defaulted.
And maybe even that section of people were proponents of the system, you know, like maybe they even endorsed it or got behind it, or maybe
Or
weren't as and then
right.
yeah.
I mean, they're teachers, they're factory workers, they're like, you know, law accountants, data input people, computer software people. Like, these people are now going to start defaulting on their car loans and their housing loans, and these were considered the safe people. That's who the people were getting the loans. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I mean, what happens to
Because
the
the lower end people, they didn't like. I'm not categorized. I'm just saying the lowest of the low. They didn't have those jobs anyways to lose, and they didn't have those loans, and they didn't have that credit. So for the first time, the middle class and upper middle class are going to be defaulting on private credit loans, and it's going to be very interesting, man, to see what happens.
it's probably going to lead to some sort of lawlessness in or
That's where. That's welcome to the Cognisphere, people. We should be recruiting those people. People that are losing
100%.
their jobs, people that are losing their jobs to AI, we are a natural landing spot for them.
We're Noah's Ark, man. Marie
That's it.
Rose, she's Noah.
I'm telling you, it's a home run. If somebody could come up with some kind of marketing technique or something to say, hey, this is your safe haven when AI takes your job, it's to the fucking it's to the next universe we go.
How would you pitch
And
that, Jesse? Because I
I
mean,
don't know. I just came up with it. I just came up with it on this conversation. To be honest with you.
fair play,
You guys just saw creation at its at happening at its moment. That's really
Genesis.
cool. Right? Isn't that really interesting? Like, we just created something that I think might work for SPX.
In terms of targeting a demographic
Yeah,
who are fast on the way out.
100%, 100%.
Yeah,
Like, that's really cool.
I wonder what the sort of
I love creation. I love divine intuition. Like, so, like Newton's law, it didn't happen by him going out and trying to find the law of, gravity. It's just an apple hit him, right? Like, remember how I told you guys a long time ago? They teach you to use your brain. You have to turn off your brain and intelligence and just let divine intuition come in. And that's when the creativity and the genius happens. You can't think of it. You have to let it just come. You guys just saw it, just right there, to come up with something like that, like out of nowhere.
Mike. I'm gonna
That's
start
fucking
hitting you with
cool.
apples in Amsterdam, brother. I'm coming
Yeah,
after you. I've got
yeah.
so many
Bro,
apples.
so cool. Wasn't that cool though? How that just came about? Like, that's really, I never thought of that until right as we were speaking about the economy.
Downloads happening for you, Jesse.
Yeah, man, I think it's cool. A lot of people probably think I'm crazy, but I think it's cool.
There is no crazy Jesse. You're safe here,
I'm
my friend.
definitely I'm definitely insane. That's for sure.
No way. Like,
In a good way. In a good way.
yeah, that would be pretty cool because I think as well that sort of angle of AI's coming for your job, it's almost been ground out to apathy. You know, people are because we hear it so often and we know it. You're like, yeah, I know, and I don't. I think that people who are not even that clued in have a concept of time, a time pressure on that. But I still see a numbing because you can only say it so many times. I wonder what. I wonder what.
Well, people don't believe it's going to happen as fast as it's going to happen. Remember, people
Yeah.
still think they think in the industrial revolution terms that everything is slow and gradual. Like, everything's always been slow and gradual, whether it's in the S&P 500. Like, everything, like 7% a year was good. Remember that when you're a financial person would tell you, "Oh, we do great. We do 8% a year." Right? So, that that slow, gradual industrial revolution type of technique, people are trying to equate that to what's happening now because that's all they know. They don't understand the logarithmic exponential takeoff that's happening with technology and AI right now. They don't get it.
Yeah, I sometimes imagine that a lot of political narrative and this kind of stuff is to mask what is currently happening with AI because it's like the biggest revolution ever happened to the man for me. So people are not ready at all for what's coming in few times we are very near.
What's your
Not just that. Imagine what the government has. If we have this, imagine what they have.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
definitely.
If we have you know, Sonic or Pro 4.6, they're already playing with Pro, you know, 4 million and 6.
Yeah, definitely. What the army have, yeah, definitely.
Oh God, like we won't. They're 30 years ahead of us,
Oh yeah, definitely.
which is 3 years now, right?
Yeah.
Jesse? You might. I've just to just switch gears a tiny bit for a moment. We can come back, but
Please.
you might be perfect for. I think you'd be perfect for this idea I've had, right? And it's a very bare bones thing. Well, everyone's perfect for it if you guys want to join me. But I've off the back of what Tans was saying about following your passion. The thing you mentioned in the beginning, Mike. I was thinking it's actually pretty tricky to. I don't know. I find it way easier to represent SPX than to follow my passion purely just because of time constraints, and I can't fully figure out how I would want to do that on the side with the time that I create. But I thought, what about just starting really basic? Because the habit is the hardest thing of just making video content. And so my idea is for myself and anybody who might like to join me is doing a daily video on TikTok, right? And then resharing it on Instagram, but not necessarily Twitter because I think it clusters the timeline a bit personally. And then just talking about anything SPX related, and then having maybe a low quality piece of SPX content, but maybe a really high piece of SPX quality content in terms of the words that are coming out, and just to practice the habit of, because Jesse, when you're talking, I love it, man, and I think that you've got like 100 sound bites in a sentence, and Mike
Thank
is,
you.
yeah, 100%, mate. It's been like an absolute pleasure to hear your mind. I don't think I've had the pleasure of being able to hear you in this vein of conversation, though I've heard you touching on it on other times that we've been on spaces together. But I really like the sort of angles you're going down, and I'm really very much looking forward to meeting you IRL. I want to geek out with you a bit, man, and just hear more of your brain.
It means a lot to me that you said that, because I really believe that, like, again, the experience of this earth is to have these interactions with human beings. And I learn from everybody. I learn from everybody, and I hope to spread some teachings to everybody and some insight into some things that most people don't really take the time to understand, or sometimes don't have the ability to have somebody guide them to understand it. So if I can do that and represent SPX at the same time, I really enjoy it, because I think I can bring something value to SPX when people get to see me and hear me and watch me talk.
100%, 100%. I would agree with that. 6,900%. I would agree with that, Jesse.
Well, 69,006,909, the actual burn number that was burned.
That many, that many percent.
Right. So it's really cool. 6.9% burn, right? That's a human number, right? It's not 6 million. It's not 7 million born. It's 6,009,669 tokens burned, right? Like, that's really cool if you think about that number, because that means somebody actually humanly had to pick that number and do that number. It wasn't just a generic.
Intentional coded for
Exactly.
the timeline.
Intentionally, humanly done.
Yeah. Well, mate, the again, there's no pressure, but I was hoping to use a part of Mondaeon, even if it's just a minute or two, as a sort of accountability gathering platform for me.
Is this being recorded? Can you take slices from our talk today?
100%, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
It's
You have my permission.
Wait, Mike, is this recorded? Oh, it is. Yeah, it says
Yes.
record on the top left. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Good.
the idea is just to make like a video a day, to be in the habit of making the video, and then like everyone's saying, 1% better, and just each week, imagine if we were just, whoever would be up for it, coming together and on Mondaeon saying, "Oh, I did my 7 videos this week and posted them all on TikTok and Twitter. Sorry, maybe not Twitter. I personally don't think it's a good one. Instagram,
TikTok. Okay.
TikTok and Instagram.
Well, I'll tell you if you can help me. I'll tell you what. I'm guilty of something. I usually I've only really posted on X. I haven't done any other platforms or anything. I really have a good following on Instagram. If you do make any of these things and I'm in it, if you could send me it, I will start the post on Instagram.
100%, yeah.
Which I haven't done yet. I guess I just kind of like I get zeroed in or locked in, as you can tell, and I got locked into to X. And I know people want to go to Reddit and stuff like that. I don't I don't really have all that stuff downloaded on my phone and stuff like that. So I'm never on my computer. I'm always on my phone. So
Well, the thing is with them is they're very. I mean, like you've got the Instagram. They're very low. They're very like intuitive systems. I mean, they're horrible because they're blitzing you with absolute crack for the mind, distraction to the max. But they are. I find that if I post something on TikTok, if I get overboard, I'll burn myself out trying to post it on 10 different platforms. If I just stay exclusively to Twitter and so TikTok and Instagram, TikTok and Instagram, what I notice is the algorithm starts to favor my content. It doesn't necessarily mean it goes anything above a few hundred. I saw Tans was doing a fantastic job for a very, very long time doing that, and he had very humble numbers on his daily videos. And I don't necessarily mean this as an endeavor to gather followers or gather likes or views. Literally just a habit forming process to one, have SPX content out there, but two, to have our own practice. And then what, you know, I think that once you make 100 rubbish videos, like I hype posted on this earlier, after a while you go, all right, I've made enough slop. Let me make an upgrade here. It doesn't need to be a huge upgrade. I think little and often, and I'm anyway. It's something I'm going to start. I'm going to start from tomorrow. I'm going to start making a video, and
okay.
I'm gonna
I
an
mean,
invitation
I'd
to
love
join.
yeah, put me in the loop. Let me know. Listen. I think it's time that you know I'm doing. I did a panel at Art Basel, and I'm doing one of the keynote lectures for Amsterdam, and and again, I really study all this stuff and I enjoy it. So I think it's time to bring my mind out in the open for SPX and let people see who I am and my thought processes and how I use my intuition and intellect at this, to accomplish something for SPX. I think that would be really good.
100%, Jesse. I know Ebby's in the field of if I if I can call it, the same medical field, and he's been
Right.
absolutely blowing up our timeline with just his amazing words, and his edits are pretty slick, to be fair, but they're not a far reach away. I think they're pretty beginner level stuff, and he just has that same Eon charm that you've got, and
He's got an energy about him.
he
I like his
does. He
energy.
really does.
I like, and so is Vasily. Vasily has the same type. Actually, Evie has a special energy. That smile and his energy, I love it. And Vasily has the energy too. But Vasily, he is like, he's found his niche, sort of say.
Yeah, cold Russian backdrop, and his words are just hope in a very. I'm not saying where he lives is bleak, but when I saw the snow in the background, snow is my enemy, and I said,
Oh yeah.
Ilya, your words are pure, pure, pure warmth through that
That's so
horrible
fun.
snow. Yeah.
That's so funny. Well, listen, I'm up for. I think it's time. I think it's a good time. I think, again, I believe uh, in the third and fourth quarter of this year, the markets are going to come strong. And I think now, before that happens, is probably the time for me to start speaking and start talking. And I really want to promote SPX the right way with you guys.
Do
So
it.
I don't know how to do it as well as some of you guys. So if you invite me to do something, I'd be happy to participate. And like I said, maybe you could take some of these clips from today and chop them up and let's make something with it.
I mean, Jesse, you can literally just what I'm going to do, right? Because it's really I want it to be for myself. I want it to be a practice where I'm very limited on time. My weekdays, Monday to Friday, are crazy busy, and I want the habit, and it keeps coming back. So my thought is, I'm literally just going to pick up the phone on TikTok. I'm going to record for however long, probably maximum 5 minutes. I don't care if anybody watches it. I'm going to say SPX in it. It's going to be about SPX or related somehow, and I'm just going to click post. I'm not going to edit. I'm not going to worry about the sound, the music, the background. If I'm literally running to Mondaeon, as I did today, if I'm jogging, I'm going to make a video like Mang. There'll be literally no performance. I'll be from any angle. Even if I don't leave the bed that day, I'm literally just going to hold it in front. And I'm just thinking, what's the easiest, what's the thing that I can't, what's so easy that I can't do it? That's what I always say in like fitness. What's the easiest thing that is so easy you can't not do it? And that's, if you can think of anything easier for yourself, but that's what I'm going to start with. And if you want to be like accountability partners, I'd be, yeah, I love it, man, because I guess I'm thinking to come back to this space each week. Unk, the man, Unk does it. Unk, are you posting on TikTok and Instagram, my friend? Your videos are exactly what well, better quality than I'm thinking of doing.
Is he here?
Yeah, I see him. I see you, Unk.
Where's Unk?
Where's Unk? Unk, you
There
gotta come
he
up, brother.
is.
Jump in
There
if
he
you want. I
is.
invite you, Hank.
Did you just call him Hunk, Mike?
I'm sorry.
Hunk, you big hunk.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Unk?
Hey, Hank,
Hey,
how are
girl.
you?
Oh man, nice little off day, man. I always love listening to you guys. Jesse, great to see you on here.
Love you, man.
And
Hey, I miss you, Unk. I know I've been busy, bro. I was explaining these guys. I've been off for like a month or 6 weeks, but I'm still alive and kicking. I'm here.
no, and you know what, bro? Like it all comes in waves, but I'm 100% on board with you as far as quarter 3, quarter 4, and I think this is a perfect time to get in here and do, because I'm thinking the same thing. Like I've talked about this, but I'm starting a baseball program that's going to be SPX coded. And so I'm going to start doing my baseball videos on TikTok and all that shit again,
Nice.
which I had a lot more followers there than I do here, right? But my content was way more geared towards super hard nosed shit that's not going to scale with, the people I'm trying to scale with. So
It's
I'm
like
going to,
it's super hard. It's super hard nose include cocaine.
no. I just, you know
I'm
what it was?
joking. I'm
No,
joking.
A lot's happened
those
since you've
things.
been gone, Jesse. Unk's a new man.
I'm a
I
new
know.
man, dude.
I'm joking with
Hey,
my brother.
I
Trust me, guys. Just so you know, I call Unc in real life when I feel there's something happening to make sure he's okay.
yeah, Jesse's the man. It's really funny. You know what I have learned from this community is if I have a few drinks, just fucking make the post and then just delete it. Don't hit send. That's what I've learned in this group, which is a powerful tool. Because last night I had gotten off and I saw that clavicular post where someone paid. Did y'all see that, the SPX thing? And he called. He's like, I'm not gonna listen to these what do you call it? It's like crypto fags or something. And oh, if you don't think I made 700 videos and just posted delete, I did. So I am a new man. Thank you, SPX6900. You are slowly but surely curating me into a gentleman online.
Unk, you the man. That's sick, man. Well done, brother. I love that.
Isn't that amazing that SPX was the route that, let's just say maybe saved your life? SPX, right? Like nothing else. No therapy, no fucking rehab, no bullshit. SPX, right? Where you could come talk to human beings that make you feel better to get over something.
Yeah, everybody talks about utility, and it's like I don't think people have even tapped into the power of that because I am a prime example of like, yeah, man, there's been nobody could tell me anything for 15 years. I was going to do what I was going to do, and it just was what it was, and that's what it was. But I think SPX one, it gives you a vision, right? You get to see something, you get to see yourself being part of something that's a huge movement. And like you said, it's I don't want to let my community down with my emotional rants or my bad habits or my negative posts. And so yeah, it is powerful because it holds you accountable whether you want it to or not. It just does.
Inspiring, Unk. Love you, man. That's really powerful words. Really powerful, mate.
Yeah, I love all you guys.
Yeah, I love you, Unc.
It's
And
so, bro. It's so like it's really insane. This community, just listen to what we're talking about today. It's crazy.
oh yeah,
And it's like the great example too over here is Noname, right? Noname came in hot and loaded, ready to go, and seeing him change through his posts and actions, like because he's one I talk to quite a bit. I mean, it's just powerful, it really is. It's again, man, I think that it's super underrated right now. But yeah, I'm a true testament, right? I'm a real believer because yeah, it worked with me when literally nothing did. And I think a lot of it is the variety of people. I think a lot of us are kind of we have the same mindset of like we know something's wrong with this system. And that's an unbelievable starting point for people, right? It's like we all have a commonality. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what side of the political, what side of the socioeconomic spectrum you come from, we all recognize the system's corrupt and wrong. And that's an unbelievable starting point. And where you can grow from there is it's endless.
the system is broken, and you know it, and you feel it. As I would say, Andy, which is what everyone is feeling these days, and everyone's agree with that in SPX.
Yeah, and you know why I've really been trying to wrap my mind around this today because I had a thought that hit me. So the way I know that we are going to be kind of that lifeboat for people is, I think when you look at kind of just, and the issue right now is the Iran war, right? It's a huge issue. And I live in an area of the country that's 95% conservative. And so I lived and grew up around, the same people. If I asked them, hey, after 9/11, should we go into Iraq? 95% of the people said, hell yeah, we should go to Iraq. But what I'm realizing is that same population, it's like they're not tricked anymore. It's like people on all sides of life are starting to wake up to where, dude, I don't know one person in like Trumpville, USA that wants this shit to go on. And so I think it's a matter of time before, people do start waking up. And it's not just the $1.5 trillion they're about to ram through our throats for military spending so that some of these war profiteer companies make their money. It's going to start being with everything. And I think once people, whatever sector it may be, whether it's big pharma or war or oil or whatever it may be, as people start realizing this system's fucked, we're going to be that beacon. And if it takes 5 years, it takes 5 years. But I think we're in a very, very good position to be that counter to literally all of this shit that people are slowly starting to wake up from and see.
Have you seen anything else, Unc? Have you seen any other beacon, like in where you're living online? Is there anything else that you've seen that is an SPX 6900 that gives you like some of that same hope?
Well, you know what it is? This is what I think I've realized is like for me, I traveled like a lot. And I've realized that like a lot of us, like I'm in this position now where, I'm working a bullshit, grueling job, right? And the only thing that ever gave me that like freedom or purpose, or I felt like I was living life and not waiting to die, was traveling and looking at architecture and, imagining this and that and how times were hundreds of years ago by going to those places. And the cool thing about SPX is it's a place for our imaginations to wander together. Even though we may be, in these jobs that are just fucking grueling, it's like SPX, it's almost like, it's like you always hear, in the trenches, people, if you ever listen to these interviews, they have this wicked sense of humor in the trenches, right? And it's almost like we're in the trenches of life together. And it's our sense of humor and ideas that's getting us out of whatever the system is that we feel like we're stuck in.
The camaraderie in the shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a time. It's a wild time. It feels like it feels like a movie. People keep saying that. This does feel like a movie. It feels very cinematic as well. How things are unfolding in the last from
Listen,
COVID.
there's 100% no doubt that we are in a simulation.
Oh yeah. Frequency simulation. The walls of what did I hear it called? Like a frequency wall around us. I was watching David Icke the other day. A frequency wall around us, containing us in. You seen that guy, Jesse?
I haven't. But like over the last year, I was always on the fence, like 50-50. But I look at it now, I'm like, there's no way we're not in a simulation.
That he
This is the greatest game ever created. We're in a game.
Yeah.
You just have to figure out how to play it.
Yeah. Do you ever you know, when you say you're astral projecting, have you been able to? I know it's a bit different. Well, is it? They're kind of overlapping themes: dream work, astral projection, and out of body experiences. But are you able to? Are you able to move your sort of astral body out and?
Yes, I have done it 3 times now.
Ooh.
I've been able to lift out of my body and go explore while my body stays in bed.
Has that been with or without medicinal plants?
Without
Phenomenal.
That experience you can do when you as you fall asleep. There's a spot when you right before, like as you fall asleep. Have you ever had like sleep paralysis where like you can't move and there's like a nightmare going on and you just can't move your limbs?
Me never, but I've heard lots about that connected.
So that's the point. You just have to say to yourself, okay, whenever you're about to astral project, something will come and try to scare you from not doing it. You just have to say to yourself, I know that nothing's going to happen to me. I'm not scared. And then you will lift up and go.
When you do it, do you are you able to see with that, I suppose, astral vision, any of a sort of, people describe like wall, kind of a wall or a sort of dome around a sort of, what's that called? The Truman Show. They've actually described like a sort of dome.
I've gone to other, I've seen alien, like alien and human, like I've seen like some kind of base under the water where aliens and humans are working together. Somewhere, some deep ocean area. There's other intelligence that's working with us in a base underneath the water. I went to the halls of Amenti. I have not gone to the pyramids. I want to try to do that. I've done some kind of like unethical thing, and where I can like go into some place that probably shouldn't have been. You know what I mean? Just like, like you know,
Where'd
it's
you
like
go?
it's kind of like your animal instincts to come out. You know, because like there's nothing that anybody can do about it. Like fly over to like some ex-girlfriend's house or something like that and see what she's up to.
Jesse, that was your first trip.
It might have been my first trip,
That sounds
honestly.
like your first trip.
But like you know, you can do that stuff, and you can see what's behind doors or vaults and stuff like that. Like you can do that. That matter is, you know, they just came out yesterday. I don't know if you guys saw, but they figured there's like a new breakthrough in matter. They were able to just have electrons make matter, which they didn't think was possible. Well, you didn't need neutrons or positrons. You could just use now electrons. So now there's like they're really on the brink of like, what is matter? Is matter even really matter? Like it. Like I think we're gonna find out a lot of the secrets that the ancients knew and the pyramids and everything like that.
Yeah, it's unlocking. Go on, Unc.
No, you know what's wild, Jesse, is like I've had that sleep paralysis exactly one time in my life. And what's wild is I had a girlfriend at the time and she would get it like, I don't know, every 6 weeks. And she would be asleep and she would just start like shaking, right? And I'd have to like wake her up. And I'll never forget one day she turned over and she goes, wait until you see her. And I was like, what? And like she was super into like, you know, just everything, astrology, all that stuff. And dude, like 2 years, 3 years later, I was laying in bed and it happened. And it's like the most horrifying. And it was like a witch woman. And it's like people have seen her, you know, and it's like, but I didn't project.
Those entities are there to stop you from projecting.
And
It's a known thing.
that's
It's a
what's,
known thing.
it's so wild, dude, because it's
You
like,
just have to say to yourself, okay, this is fake. It's not going to harm me. It's trying to scare me out of it.
yeah, and I like honestly kind of got chills when you started talking about it because I never have. I never have. Like I'm just like I never have. It's like she's just like on top of me, just like this like wicked witch ghost thing,
Yeah, you have to look up, guys. If you want to learn how to astral project, there's a technique, and he's very good. His name is Darius J. Wright. Look him up, and he teaches you how to do it. He has teachings online, and you can join his class and everything.
Yeah, I saw that actually. I've actually written that in my notes to specifically join
I'm
his
working out,
course.
so sorry.
Do you recommend
Yeah,
his course specifically? Yeah.
100%. He's the best one. That's how I learned.
Science from the universe. I literally wrote his course
Yes.
down last week.
Yes, Darius J. Wright. So you see, like, this is the stuff me and you have a lot of in common interests.
Definitely. I mean, I think this is everyone's interest. They just don't know it yet. I mean,
That's true too. That's because once you see it, you can't unsee
exactly.
it. Once you see this stuff, you can't unsee it.
Like, I think it's the messages are coming through so much clearer. Like you saying, Darius J. Wright, you're talking about the frequencies. That book that you mentioned, I've written that down too. They're just such blatant, obvious signs, and there's the subtleties of being replaced for such
Well, like I said before, the Great Awakening is happening. These things are happening more.
Truly.
More. Yeah,
dude. Can I tell you a wild story? I want to get your thoughts on what this was, Jesse.
of course, you can always talk about it.
So maybe I was with my best friend. This is like my college roommate. We were like basically the same human being. We had the same thoughts, same beliefs, yada yada yada. So one day, it was the first time that he had ever got something that like kept us up, right? And we were in Colorado, and we were like, "Hey, let's go for a drive." And we were both up for like, dude, like 5 days, literally. And we were out in Moab, and I could point to a mountain, and now I know none of this ever existed, but I would point to a mountain and I would say, dude, who is that a sculpture of? And he'd go, George Washington. And I was like, yeah, isn't that wild? And it was like we saw things. It was like shared lucid hallucinations, but it's unexplainable. Still, to me, it's unexplainable.
So one of the ways that you can reality transfer is extreme exhaustion. It's easier to get into that state when you have extreme exhaustion. It's harder when like you're a well rested person. When you go through that extreme exhaustion, you get into that state when like like you kind of like fall out for a minute, like you fall out like asleep. Is that what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So at that very moment, that's one of the ways that if you keep yourself up a long time, that's one of the techniques of getting into astral projections. Because what happens is your conscious, your defense mechanism to get into that doesn't work, and then you can get there easier because you haven't slept.
Yeah, it was.
So if you guys were up for 5 days, you both might have been in that dimension, seeing the same things because you were able to not have the filter on, and you were able to see the other dimensions.
Yeah, then it was like honestly the wildest experience I had ever seen, and like this went on for like,
You know what? I'll make sense of it to you. So okay, so this is what it's like when you don't sleep. So and it's also like this when you do medicine, plant medicine. This is the opposite of what people don't understand. Like when they tell you, oh well, humans only use 20% of their brain, right? You've heard that? Has everyone heard that before?
yeah, definitely.
Okay, right. Well, it's actually the opposite. What it is the brain filters. So you know how you can only see 1% of the light spectrum? Well, the brain is like an air filter. The brain filters 80% of the universe. It only allows you to see the 20% that it allows in. So if you're tired and you haven't slept, actually your brain filter is turning off. So then you're getting more downloads and seeing more of the spectrum. So when we do plant medicine, in essence, what the medicine does is it turns off your brain and allows the universe to come in.
so it's like Jesse, like this just popped in my head. So it's like So everything we saw together, that we 100% agreed on 1,000 sculptures, like, did that exist? Like, does that exist?
Not only did it exist, you guys might have been communicating telepathically and not even knowing.
Oh
That's why
my,
you guys might have been seeing the same thing and talking about the same thing subconsciously. Because if your filters are off, then you can do that stuff.
You're a wizard, Unk.
dude, I'm like, honestly, I have chills because it's like literally that's what it was. And it was like, dude, if I pointed to 100 different rocks and every single time I didn't tell you what that rock looked like a sculpture of, and you were right, that's what it was like. It was like we were the same brain. It was like, dude, we were convinced that we saw a mountain lion about to attack a deer, and we sat there and just stared at it for 3 hours waiting for it to pounce, and it was there. It was there, you know?
Right.
And
The other thing is, like, you know, this wisdom and this ancient techniques, they're out there in the books. It just, for some reason, it's people would rather talk about war and gas prices instead of this stuff. Like this ancient wisdom and this awakening is happening right now. There's lots of people that are practicing these energies and these medicines and these you know, telekinesis and telepathic communication, and it's happening right now. And just for some reason, it's not as cool or as important to most people, which makes no fucking sense to me.
It's a sort of, when you mentioned the brain there, Jesse, what came into my brain was that I see these bodies as sort of slave vessels, and this hardware that we've got, this hardware software, I'm not sure which one is which, but we've got the brain, and almost almost the hubris that comes with having the brain is our own downfall, because as we become more left brain dominant, we get more attached to what the thing can do, and that in turn limits the exposure of the world that we can see. Again, like, that's this very SPX coded, because we're constantly saying to people who are using their big brains and just saying, man, just switch off for a second. You're using this thing that is just getting in the way of you experiencing how unreal this is. And also, I was going to ask because I've got a bit of a theory on the fatigue thing as well, because I noticed that I lucid dream incredibly well when I'm super fatigued, but I also have a sort of theory on being incredibly well rested to also lucid dream, and I kind of extend lucid dreaming to astral stuff as well. I've not had the full experience. I've definitely started to have the tingles. How do you sort of like feel with fatigue?
It's two different techniques. It's two different techniques. Fatigue is something like when you have the fatigue, it happens, you know, basically without your consent. It's
Sure,
just you're
sure.
so tired that your brain can't function anymore, and you go into like this lucid space, right? Where like it just happens.
Yeah,
Sometimes maybe you'll even like fall asleep in the car at a red light. You know what I mean? Like it's just like when you're that tired is when it happens. And then the other one is actually he goes through some techniques on how to actually consciously go there. So I would definitely say Darius J. Wright. He is probably the best in the world at this right now.
yeah. That's such a sign from the universe that he's the guy I need to.
Yeah, most of the time I say his name, nobody even knows who the fuck I'm talking about. So I was happy that you knew who he was.
Oh man, I'm obsessed because do you know? I mean, Nonami was actually talking about him a bit before. Do you know Carlos Castaneda's work?
I know the name. I don't know his work, honestly.
He does a series, and they're basically around his learnings with a Yaqui Indian shaman type character called Don Juan, and they basically go through these different schools of thought, but in a way more abstract sort of way. There's not necessarily the same linear. Not saying that Darius J. Wright is teaching it in a linear way, but it's a very abstract sort of way of explaining things, and they touch on a lot of, I suppose, philosophies that would come from Eastern cultures and stuff like that. And why did I mention his name? Because he talks about dreaming a lot, and he talks about an astral body, but he doesn't give it that name. And I just think there's so many opportunities, like you said, to learn this stuff. And I think the more exposure that comes, you start to think, one frequency, why would I talk about things that are low frequency vibration when I know 100% that's shaping my reality. And two, if there's the option to go to work or the option to be a Jedi, why would I? Okay, I go to work, but I'm a Padawan in training. I'm a little ass Eon in training because, like yourself, man. Mike. I'm a little ass Eon. I'm a little ass Padawan because what's cooler than moving the Force?
Right. It's crazy because most people don't think that. Most people look at this stuff and like, I have no time for this.
But I mean, we're doing it in SPX.
Yo, Maddox is in the house. Maddox, I miss you. It's Jesse. I miss Maddox. Maddox is here, I see.
If you get the voice out of Maddox, Jesse,
That'll never happen until I see him in real
you've been
life.
the real Jedi. What's up, Maddox?
Just say hello for me. Make me the Jedi, please. I love you.
Maddox the Jedi. But that's what we're practicing, right? We are literally practicing that energy together as a collective, which is why I think it.
Hey, maybe we brought Maddox. Maybe our energy brought Maddox to the show right now.
I believe it. I definitely believe it. Mike, you're whenever we talk about this sort of stuff, you're hugely into it as well. I think. Like, what's your sort of take on that stuff? Do you pass? I know that you're very big into the sort of coding and the arts and stuff like that. How do you sort of resonate with that stuff?
With believing and manifesting stuff you're talking about?
Yeah, and just I suppose, yeah, literally shaping your own universe and reality, like we're doing with SPX. But like, does that, if you weren't an SPX, probably the best way to say, if you weren't an SPX, how would you be into SPX coded things such as this incredible belief of this energy of belief that we've all come across in the community?
I guess I've been before in many mental stuff, and the ability to believe and not limiting yourself in the dream you can accomplish is one of the most important thing in life for me. Like it's kind of the level you will vibrate, but it's like all the system is like trying to make you being rational. Like I cannot rationally thinking, I cannot do that, which is the worst thing to apply to your brain and to yourself. Like you need to dream bigger every time, and you can accomplish a miracle yourself and change situation that seem desperate. So you need to have big hope. I'm a walker. I'm walking a lot every day, and it's kind of making me fall into meditation. And I have a lot of these thoughts about non-limiting yourself, and you're way bigger than you think, and even being in trouble will at the end being good for you because it will reveal like how far you can go, and you wouldn't thought that you could go that far before having these troubles, this kind of stuff. So I don't know if I responded to what you said, but
Yeah, definitely. Like, I guess if we could all see the master plan, I think we'd all see ourselves divinely connected in such a crazy way. Like, sometimes I'm thinking to myself, like, oh yeah, Jesse, Unk, Mike, we all just found each other. Like, there's no coincidences at all. We've always been connected, all of us here. And
Right. Well, I believe and practice the oneness. I think oneness is the answer.
absolutely. We are one. We are divinely all connected to form one giant
pizza, one giant pineapple pizza.
No.
You were about to say it, Mike.
Maybe pizza. but not a pineapple pizza. That's true.
Can I just say that, Mike? Just to get a bit trippy, I have to leave. But can I just say that
What?
as my closing thought before I leave you guys is, when I was not too long ago, probably like 5 years ago, I was literally just smoking weed, and I don't do drugs, so you can imagine marijuana hit me really hard. And I had this thought, and it was that we're all pirates. Everything is pirates. That will make absolutely no sense. But at the time, and even my memory was that we're all pirates. I'd rarely share this trip because it makes me sound absolutely crazy. So in a way, we're all pineapple pizza. Think about it, Mike. And with that, I'm going to leave you.
Wait, Seb,
What's up?
hey, will you cut some of these these things up today and
I won't.
maybe some of like the best?
I wouldn't do it. I won't be able to do it today. I'm going to bed.
No, not today. I'm saying, can you cut some of this up for me at some point this week?
I'll do my best. Jesse. But
Yes.
it's
Okay.
available. I mean, feel free to jump in as well. But yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get back to cut some of it. But I think when
If you can, if I'll look at it too.
but yeah, nice one. It's been amazing and beautiful to speak with you. And Jesse, I'm just really excited to just have big geek outs in Amsterdam with
Let's
you,
do
man.
it.
Anyway,
I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save a session just for you.
yeah, Eon.
All right, guys. Love you all.
Love you guys.
Love you, girls. Thank you, Seth, for being here. Yeah, you're moving too fast every time. I have to go. Bam! He's not here anymore. Yeah, I will probably end soon the space, but I wanted to share something with you. But even if Seb gone, it's like on AI stuff. I wanted to talk about something like that make me thought about a film with Robin Williams, the actor, um, which is making a speech in Good Will Hunting, the film. That made me thought about AI a lot because, like in Will Hunting, is like a psychologist that need to take care of a genius, and it's kind of the same stuff. Like the genius know everything, a little bit like AI, but he don't know what it is to feel this stuff. And I just want to read you a part of this speech, which is very accurately the same for AI. Like AI will never be able to feel what we feel when living the events. So yeah, I read you just the little passage. So if I asked you about art, you will probably give me the skinny on every art book ever written. Michelangelo, you know a lot about him, life's work, political aspirations, him and the Pope, sexual orientations, the whole works, right? But I'll bet you can tell me what it smells like in the 16 chapels. You never actually stood there and look up at that beautiful ceiling, seen that. If I asked you about women, you'd probably give me a syllabus about your personal favorites. You may have been laid a few times, but you can tell me what it is to feels like to wake up next to a woman and feel truly happy. You're a toad kid, and I ask you about war, you'd probably throw Shakespeare's at me, write one more into the bridge, dear friends, but you've never been near one. You never held your best friend's head in your lap, watch him gasp his last breath, look into you for help. I'd ask you about love, you'd probably quote me a sonnet, but you've never looked a woman and been totally vulnerable, known someone that could feel this known someone that could level you sorry, known someone that could level you with her eyes, feeling like God put an angel on earth just for you, who could rescue you from depth of hell, and you wouldn't know what it is like to be her angel, to have that love for her, to be there forever through anything. It was a little passage of the speech in this film, and it makes me feel the same way with AI. AI can like talk to you about everything, but not the feelings you will have living these events. It will always be like this, even the level of consciousness AI will have, and even if it's high, they will never know what it feels to be human in this situation. So yeah, I just wanted to add this as a conclusion of this beautiful Mondaeon, and thanks to everyone for being here. I'm still working on the platform, resolving bugs and everything, and it will be like banger update soon. So thanks everyone. Love you, Hank. Love you everyone for being here. Thanks, girls. See you the next Mondaeon, and persist forever. Choose a peaceful life over grids, and see you in the Cognisphere. Love you, girl.
Love you, Mike.
Love you, Hank. Bye bye.
Bye bye.